All right, welcome to Let Me Be Frank, Mike, with Week 12 NFL picks. I'm here with Frank. Moneymaker Mike is unable to join us this week. I think he got grounded or something. You know what happened to Mike?
Yes, actually, he's on his way to Las Vegas.
Likely story.
Yeah. And actually, he will be back with us next week, probably through Zoom, I would imagine. And John is our video director and producer of our show, and thank you for stepping in for Mike. I really do appreciate that. He will, again, we're probably going to start Zooming. He'll be working out in Las Vegas, and we'll start getting some even more crazier lines than just FanDuel.
All right. Well, how'd you do last week, Frank?
I did good. I hit 3 out of 4. Jets was my only loser. I had Cincinnati, Dallas, and Detroit. I said Jets were losing that Jets game. I really, again, I shouldn't be whining again, but I'm going to. To lose that game was a field goal game, and I was getting 3.5.
Didn't that one end with a punt return?
Yes, it did.
That's
yes,
incredible.
It did. With 20 seconds left on the clock.
Okay.
And he ran it back. Okay.
So
anyways,
wait. Let me ask you a question. What's the history of the Jets and Patriots?
Actually, it's a good question. Matter of fact, Mike had New England last week. That was one of his best bets against me, and his reasoning was Trevor Williams sucks, and he did, and they blasted him the next couple of days because when they asked him on TV. So, did you think you performed well or didn't play up to standard against New England? Oh no, I did good. He's like, he wouldn't even admit that he had a bad game. So they're really blasting him in the media right now. But he did. He had a terrible game. And I took the Jets plus the 3.5 because I like the hook and I like the Jets defense. And they did shut down New England like I said they would. Again.
Hold on. Do you think they shut down New England, or is New England just inept?
I think they shut down New England's not inept. They've got it pretty good.
Well, you think New England's a good team, the Patriots this year?
I think Patriots did very well this year. They've beaten a lot of good teams.
All right.
Their offense is not bad.
I think that's a bold take. That's a bold take.
A bold take. It is.
Hey, but forgive me. I like to hate New England.
Oh, okay.
Is
that a heart thing?
It's a hobby of mine. It's a hobby.
Okay, it's a hobby.
All right, so let's move on.
I like it.
I got Mike's picks here. I'm going to read them off.
Okay.
And I hope he wears something pretty for Thanksgiving because he's getting screwed this week. He's taking Chicago
plus 4.5.
Plus 4.5 versus the
New York Jets.
I'm trying to read your chicken scratch here.
I know.
You should have been a doctor.
I forgot my board today, so that's going to make it a little more difficult today.
So
Bear with us.
Justin Fields has been just obliterated the last few weeks. Is he playing this week?
That's a good question. I think he is.
Let's look.
Look at. I usually go to SB Nation. You might find another website to.
He's at the center of bizarre injury confusion. Oh, that's great.
Is that what you read?
Well, whatever. I hope that one works out for Mike. But that's
okay.
I might take the Jets in that one.
Jets are at home. I kind of like the Jets myself. The defense is playing good, but what's with Trevor Williams? Is the defense going to play next? Though I said that against Tampa and the Rams, and boy, Tampa came down and crushed Seattle and Germany the next week.
Well, yeah, but that's because you got an old man like Tom Brady, right?
Right.
If you're going to make him go that far, he's going to win to spite you.
Yes.
But I don't think he wins too many more games this year. You heard it here first.
We got that. Well, matter of fact, just to get off of Mike's picks for 1 second,
I think that's a good
Tampa's
plan.
playing Cleveland at Cleveland. What do you think about that game?
Tampa at Cleveland.
What's the line on that game? Let me get this real quick. Again, we forgot my board. So Tampa's given 3.5 at Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I'm taking Cleveland all day.
I think this line is sucker bet. Tampa, why is Tampa only giving 3.5? Everybody's going, oh, Brady's back now.
No
ever
way.
since Germany, blah, blah, blah.
Brady's back or, oh, Brady's back. The guy's old. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Well, you got to like Tampa's defense. That's what they're all about. You know, but the offense is terrible.
They got
line is terrible.
got some injury concerns on the defense too,
Yes.
though.
So I agree with you. I like Cleveland plus 3.5. It's not one of my picks, but it might be. Again, folks, look at late Saturday night. Mike will come in and on the comment section on our video, and he'll add games for us or take games off that we gave you this week because we are broadcasting on Tuesday. Our show comes out on Wednesday night, and sometimes there's some injury reports coming in late Saturday. So we either would change it up or we'll have more picks on Saturday. So please check our video again on Saturday night, usually around 6, 7 o'clock Pacific time. All right. Now that I've thrown myself completely off my bet game.
Okay,
Go
next
ahead
bet.
with the next bet. With
Minnesota versus New England. Minnesota's minus 2.5. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so he's taking Minnesota minus 2.5.
Yes, and yes. Minnesota is coming off an embarrassing loss against Dallas at home.
Was it embarrassing or was it exposing? I think that what happened is Dallas showed us who Minnesota actually is. Overrated.
Wow.
Overrated.
You got some opinions over there,
Kirk
my
Cousins is lucky that he's got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. He's got incredible receivers that help him out. And that's great, but Cousins is not a great quarterback.
No. Oh, you should see our first podcast this year, and I just threw Cousins. I threw him to the dogs. I am not a Cousins fan, though I bet Minnesota a couple games this year, and I actually did well with them because they're 7-1, so they are performing well. There maybe it could be a weak schedule, but again, they're not performing bad. But I think Dallas coming off that loss, there was just too much for Minnesota, and I like Minnesota. But actually, I had Minnesota minus 6 against New England, and this is a Turkey Day game, the late game at night.
How about that? Some good games on Thanksgiving this year.
There's some great games. And Minnesota and New England is definitely going to be one of them. But I had a problem with money has been winning this year. I mean,
What does that mean?
okay, so, I come from the 80s back in when I first came to Vegas, and I had a lot of professional gamblers teach me, Lem Banker, Nick Painter, Art Clayton. And one thing they taught me was when money goes one way, you go the other. Wait till the end of the week and see where all the money went, and you go the other, because public is wrong 80% of the time. Well, not this year, folks. Kansas playing the Colts earlier in the year. Line started at 7, went all the way down to 4.5. Colts beat them. Another one was, again, look at last week. The Jets game. That was another one at the line. Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry, it was the Eagle game. It opened up at 8.5. It went all the way down to 6.5, and the Eagles almost got beat. So if that line's moving 2 or 3 points, 4 points, money's winning, and it's happening consistently. It happened in the first week too. Frisco against the Bears. Money just went on the Bears, and the Bears beat them outright. How is this happening? Well, again, we're going to say it again. We say it every week. This is not your daddy's NFL anymore, and guess whose daddy is? I know Dad. I'm the old guy in the town here now. But anyways,
I have no idea what you're saying.
I
Frank.
know. I think a lot of the gamblers out there do know what I'm saying. They understand it that, betting on where the money goes is usually not a good bet. But again, this year it's been an ugly football season as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, look at the Minnesota game. This game
Hold
opened
on.
up
Let's
at
go
3.
back to this. Let's go back to this. Hold on. So the trick is that you've got FanDuel now. You've got all these sports books. You've got a lot more people.
A lot more people coming in, and the information on these computers is just totally SB Nation. There's so much. You just went and looked to see how Fields went. I don't even know where you went to do that, but He got that information like that.
It's called Google. I'll show it to you later.
Oh, this modern technology, I love it. But well, I'm getting a point. The reason I made that point about follow the money is Minnesota started at 3.5. I got this line at 6. Everybody should have this Minnesota coming off of a loss playing New England. New England's lost 3 players on the offensive line, I think.
I love hating New England, so this is one of Mike's
And you
picks I can get
he
behind.
loves hating them, but you hate Cousins more. So who do you hate more in this game?
Oh, I think Cousins will do just wait, is the game in prime time?
It's it's a night game. It's at 8:12 p.m. Eastern, so that's about what 5. 4?
Oh, it's on Thanksgiving Day.
It's on Thanksgiving
Oh
night.
yeah,
It's
New England's going to win that game.
Everybody's
You
gonna
heard
be
it
sitting
here.
around with, oh, my stomach hurts, and go, I need to put some money on this game.
You got to talk into the mic, Frank.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know. I John, this is fun. I've just got. I'm trying to look at you at the same time and talk, and I'm working this. I'm working it.
Yeah, fair. So I'm changing my mind. New England, that's where I'm putting my money.
Not New England.
Yep.
You hate Cousins more than you hate New England.
I don't hate Cousins. I just have watched Cousins enough to know that when all the attention's on him, he kind of shrivels in the moment.
Right.
He's not great in these games.
I'm going to go with Mike. I mean, this was one of my picks, but I'm taking it off the board because I've got this new law now that if money's going one way, I'm going with the money. So I just want to see where this line goes by Saturday. I really do, before I make any decision on the Minnesota-New England game. Again, it went down to 2.5 from 3.5. So they're taking New England, even with their offensive linemen hurt, and they did not look good against a good defense. Minnesota's defense should beat, and they're at Minnesota. They should beat this team. But again, why the money's going that way? Oh, let's get off this game.
Okay. We've also got Ravens. Mike's taking the Ravens -4 over Jacksonville.
I have no reason why he's betting this game.
Well, Ravens are looking like a pretty solid team these days. Their defense is pretty ferocious.
They are, and they should win this game easy.
Well, then maybe that's why he's taking it.
That's true.
What makes you nervous about this game?
It's at Jacksonville. Some reason Jacksonville and Baltimore has a habit, though the second half they're not doing it as bad as they did in the beginning of the year, where they just go up by 24 points, 22 points or whatever, and just give it up in the second half.
Okay.
And Jacksonville's that kind of team at home that could just, what we call a backdoor cover.
Right.
Be up by 14 and then score 10 points, and next thing you know, you lost by if it's 4.5.
Yeah, fair.
It's now 4, but it's just could end up a back. I'm staying away from the game myself. So, what's your opinion on his game here?
Yeah, I like it. I'll take the Ravens also.
Okay.
I think that's the pick.
Okay,
I think
good.
the Ravens have a ferocious defense, and Trevor Lawrence throws a lot of picks. So
Yes, he does.
this is going to be a good one for the Ravens.
Okay.
And if you play fantasy football and you have the Ravens defense, you're going to feel pretty good this week.
Oh, okay. I haven't played fantasy football in a long, long time. And matter of fact, Baltimore Ravens, New York Giants back in the 90s, those were the number 1 and number 2 defenses of football back in the day.
Back in the day.
Well,
Wow.
Ravens have been a good number 1, number 2 defense in the last couple of years. It's just Buffalo took over. All right, I'm going to throw out my picks here.
All right, let's hear him.
All right. I'm going to take Minnesota off until I see where that money goes. I like Seattle -3.5.
There you go. That's my team.
All right.
I'm a Seahawks fan.
The only reason I like Seattle is because Seattle's at home, and this line is, 3.5? Are you kidding me? I talked to Mike earlier about this game. He wanted to bet against me on this game for kicks and giggles. He just believes that they're going to have jet lag. Well, come on, it's been a whole week. Jet lag should be over with.
They're okay. So if they were playing like a top team, I would understand where he's coming from. But they're playing the Las Vegas Raiders. That's basically like a college team.
That is why. Why is this line only 3.5?
Yeah.
It smells kind of funny in a way, but I got to take it. I cannot go against Seattle at home with that crowd against the Raiders.
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith?
You knew it was going to happen. You love to see it.
Yes. Matter of fact, this would be a good game to watch, I think. It really will.
How about this? Minnesota right now, their fans are sitting home thinking, God dang, I wish we had Geno Smith on our team. Bet you didn't see that happening at the start of the year.
They're 7-1. They're happy with Cousins right now. they're already. If they want to make a statue for him already.
You haven't spent much time in Minnesota if you think they're happy with Cousins.
Okay.
They're so furious with him they can't even finish their hot dish.
Oh, man.
All right, what's your next pick?
All right,
I like that one. I'm with you. I'm taking the Seahawks.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm coming back with the Eagles -7. I think there's going to be some anger there. Again, the money was all over the Colts, not figuring it out. But, and of course, Philadelphia did come back and won that game. You know, we talk about me being the juice man, and I actually bought Philadelphia down to -3.5. And the score was 13-10, the Colts at one time. And I'm going, okay, I was going to use a touchdown, but it's still early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I can win this game. You know, that would give me 17-13. That covers the 4.5.
Okay.
Or the 3.5. Well, I went and got something to eat, came back, and it was 16-10. And then, of course, the Eagles came back and won with the last minute of the game. So how Colts stayed in that game, I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to go with the Eagles -7. I think it's a low line. I'm going to take it. Okay, and there. So who else do we have going on here?
It's good to see you came prepared this week, Frank.
No, I went on a chicken wing binge this week. We started hitting all these bars. I was testing out different rubs and sauces and different beers, and we went as far as Tacoma, went to Gig Harbor. It was kind of fun.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, but I this is more important. I should have been doing my homework. Anyways, no one's going to like this game because this is an ugly, ugly game. And I guarantee everybody in the world is going to take those points. But Miami's giving 13 points. Ay, 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 ay. That is a lot of points. But they are playing, you know, once the quarterback got hurt, they looked like crap. They couldn't do nothing. Now he's back. They're done with all this concussion stuff and rules. And I think laying 13 points against, are they playing Houston, right? I think that's right.
That's why it's 13 points. They're playing Houston.
And Houston's just terrible. I mean, we actually last week on Dakota's Dog, I think Houston was our pick, and a lot of sharps actually bet Houston straight up. Hope that line went down from I think 3.5 down to 3.
Yeah, too bad they got smoked by
They
Washington.
got smoked by Washington. So if Washington can beat them, I think Miami should beat them by 40 points. This could be one of my best bets on the board. But
Tyreek Hill might score 40 points just on his own.
He could.
Yeah.
This is probably a good pick.
So you're taking Miami minus
The
13.
13.
Okay, I like it.
I don't like laying that many points in a very ugly football season, but yes, I'm going to.
Okay, there's one game I want to talk about. Is that your last pick?
That was it, my friend. Go ahead. I want to see what you got.
Okay, this is my question. Buffalo Bills at Detroit Lions.
Thursday morning, early.
They're giving Detroit 9.5 here.
Yeah,
Lex, right?
that line opened up at 8, and it's now up to 9.5.
I do not. What have we seen from the Buffalo Bills the last couple of weeks that make you feel confident in that? I'd take
laying
Detroit.
that 9.5?
Yeah, I'd take Detroit in that one all day. Detroit historically loses on Thanksgiving, but always keeps it close. That's
Yes.
a big game for them.
That's a big line.
Buffalo's been having trouble. Jared Allen fumbling in end zones. Is he injured? Is he not? Does he need surgery or something?
Right. A lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions.
A lot
there.
of questions. Well, here's why I think I see why they're betting Buffalo. Detroit they're good against the run and terrible against the pass, and Buffalo is terrible at running and very good against at passing. So if Detroit just falls apart against the pass again, Buffalo can just run this up real fast. I mean, real fast.
I hear you. The trouble I have with your analogy there, though, is Buffalo's bad or not really great at running except for with the quarterback. And he can't really throw the ball super effectively right now. I think we've seen that over the last few weeks.
Yes.
And they rely on his legs to get them the first downs and whatnot.
Well, he has been running a lot lately, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
Because he can't throw the damn ball.
So, and 9.5 is a lot of points. And I think Detroit, I should look this up, but Detroit, I know last year they didn't cover, I'm pretty sure. And then 2 years before that, they covered easy. Because there was a big thing about last year on Turkey Day that, Detroit's covered the last 2 years. And I think I even took Detroit last year. But I think they got blown out. I don't even know who they played. Maybe they played Green Bay.
It'd be tough being a Detroit fan.
It's in Detroit. Is Swift playing? That's gonna be good for the Detroit.
Am I talking you into taking Detroit?
No, not gonna happen.
All right.
Not gonna happen. Well, let's just go over a couple of these games. Giants at Dallas. What the hell happened to my Giants, brother?
They were already the most overrated 7-1
I remember.
team
I remember 4 or 5 weeks
football.
ago, you were about putting the camera on, and you're like, when I said the Giants over Seattle, you about hammered me that day.
Overrated.
Overrated. And I went to that game, and I watched Barkley run for 59 yards. They didn't even run him. They went to the pass the whole game. They ran him one series of downs. I think that's where he got most of his yardage, in that one set of downs. And they did, and then tried to pass the whole game. I think they did the same thing last week against Detroit. I think they just didn't use him.
Right.
He ran for, 29 yards, I think, last week?
Yep.
Unbelievable. He's their game. You run him, play action pass. Run him, play action pass.
Yeah, well, when you got all those fantastic receivers like they do, you got to throw the ball. Spread it around to keep.
Are they going to bring Odell back to
keep
New
these
York?
big names from getting upset about not getting their touches?
Yeah, it could be. And Dallas's defense just looks killer.
Yeah.
Killer. So with that line, what are you thinking on this?
What's the line here?
It's 9.5. It opened up. Actually, the week, they put the lines up for the next week already, and then Sunday night they take them down and they readjust them after the games are played on Sunday. So Monday morning you'll see a whole different bunch of lines. But they actually had the Giants +7, and then they took the lines down and they opened it back up at 8.
Yeah, I'd take the Giants in that one. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they could cover 9.5.
I think they could too.
The thing is,
I'm not touching it.
It's a division game.
Yep.
Which means it's going to get a little weird. You get weird results in those. And
you're absolutely right.
I like Dak Prescott. I like his game. I think he's an exciting quarterback, but I don't trust him. He always is good for a few times a year where he's just dreadful.
He does do that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does do. You're absolutely right. He did that against me against San Francisco in the playoff game. I'm not going to go over that one. That hurt. Okay, so you like the Giants. All right. And we already talked about the Minnesota Viking games. We already got that cleared out.
This one's good right here. Cincinnati Bengals at Tennessee Titans.
I like Tennessee.
I do too.
They're at home, getting points. They can beat Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
I think they will beat Cincinnati. It's going to be a good game. I wish I was getting 3 or 3.5. And again, with FanDuel, you can be the juice man and buy it up to 3.5. You're going to pay a little juice for that. But you're off that field goal. But that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I like Tennessee in that one myself. I really do. All right. So, we both agree. Let's just throw another game out there. I like doing this. It's like
Rams at Kansas City. Kansas City's giving 14.5 points to the Rams.
Rams are probably, if you do a power rating right now, I would probably put the Rams down around 28-29 because I don't think there's anybody worse than them at this point.
Yeah, well, Minnesota might be.
Oh, man. I love it. Hey, Mike, when you see this podcast tomorrow, I I want you to fall over in Las Vegas and go, what's he talking about, the worst team?
Hey, I'm not Moneymaker Mike. You didn't bring me on
Moneymaker
here.
Mike,
I'm just
like
supposed to fill a seat for a week until we can get Mike all set back up, and so I'm going to fill the seat. And I'm going to share my opinions.
So back to the Chiefs game. Chiefs can't cover 14.5 points if they tried. They have a few games a year where they blow out teams by 35, 40 points, and they can easily do this against the Rams. But Rams, I think they have a little pride in themselves. If you're gonna play one game all year long at 100%, let's go out and beat Kansas. We suck this year. We have no quarterback. We have no offensive lineman. But you know what? We're gonna give this a game against the Rams. 14.5 points. That's just way too many.
I think maybe some of those professional bettors, gamblers who taught you were just trying to figure out, like, you were the general public, and they're like, "What's your bet, Frank?" Because we're going opposite.
That, you know
that's
what?
a bad take.
That is a funny story because that's so true. He's absolutely right. When I got to Vegas in 1981, Lem Banker was like, he was my hero. I mean, God. And I met him at Caesar's Palace. And I walked up to him, and I had this little notebook with all my lines and all my notes. And he asked me, he says, who do you liking tonight? I introduced myself to him, and I says, I just got to Vegas, and I want to do what you're doing for a living. And he looks at me and he goes, who do you like in that Seattle Jets game tonight? It was a Monday night because the lines came out on Monday. And he says, and I says, well, I don't really like that game. I says, matter of fact, my game just got taken off the board. He says, oh, don't worry, it'll come back up, because he bet a lot of money on it. When he bets a lot of money, they pull the line down and add, go from 6 to 6.5 or whatever. But anyways, I asked him, I go, why are you're asking me, right? Like you said, to him, I'm the public.
Right.
But when I asked him why he's asking me, he says, well, you sound like you're from New York. I says, no, I'm from Cleveland. He says, you might know something from New York. You know, if you just came in, you know what's going on in New York. In Las Vegas, I'm going to make fun of this newspaper because I really hate this newspaper. The Kitsap newspaper is the worst. It's garbage, but I'll probably hear comments for this one. But that's what our newspaper was like in Las Vegas. You couldn't even get a standing because there was no computers, no cell phones in those days. Anyways, you're right.
Did you have cars back then, Frank?
Huh?
Did you have cars, vehicles?
It was more like a Flintstone car.
Yeah.
We had to run it with our feet.
Good, good.
Hey, Vegas was like Montana when I got there. So anyways, first thing he did was, and then he took my notebook out of my hand and he threw it in the garbage. And I go, what are you doing? I said, that's all my notes. I mean, that's what I bet with. He says, I'm going to show. He takes me to the teller and he get me a schedule book. It's now called Don Best schedule books, and we actually use those. I used to buy them every year, but now you have to print them on the computer. But he says, first thing I'm going to teach you, son, always look ahead till next week. I says, why is that? And we still use that in today's world. We did it last week. We talked about liking the Giants last week, and I took Detroit as one of my picks because we knew the Giants were going to play Dallas the following week. So sometimes teams will look ahead and don't give a hoot who they're playing the week before. So that was my first lesson by Lem Banker, and then he set me up with a guy named Nick Painter and just went from there. But that was back in the day. But getting back to that idea of I maybe was the public to him in the beginning, but I also believe that he got a group of us together because we were outside the box looking in.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're new blood. And new blood, we start getting, as you get going further in the years, you get so focused on something. Just like, one of my big play is when a team gets hammered the week before, like Dallas or Minnesota or Philadelphia, I'm going based on that. When a team gets embarrassed and hammered the week before, a team as good as Philadelphia, which is definitely a Super Bowl team, they're going to come back and win.
There you go.
Very easy. Okay, again, you got me to tell me I got to tell a story.
There you go.
You set me up. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. It was a great story.
All right. What else do you want to look at any other game? So What do you like on the Kansas game? I didn't get your opinion on that. You just got all me rambling.
Oh, yeah. The Rams they have no Cooper Kupp, right?
Is he out?
He's out. He's on the IR.
I wouldn't even look at this game.
Matthew
but go ahead.
Stafford just got another concussion, second and third 3 weeks.
Oh,
They're toast. Their Chiefs.
Well,
are
that
probably
explains
going
why
to
the
cover
line
that.
went from
Yeah,
13 to 14
It's
and a half.
crazy.
Yeah. Again.
Okay, one more game. How about that?
All right, let's go for it. Which one do you want?
Atlanta Falcons at Washington Commanders.
Wow. Washington's -4. I love what Heineke's that how you pronounce his name? Heineke?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't. The quarterback. I like what he's doing in Washington. I think they might have found somebody that's, and Washington's defense is doing good. Atlanta's playing good. They're running the ball well still. When they want to run the ball, they were playing Carolina on a Monday night, and me and Mike were sitting up there watching it, and one of the top running backs, and they didn't even use them. But anyways, I like Washington Commanders in this game. Actually, you might even have me looking at this game by the end of the week. -198 on the money line. That's pretty cheap.
Atlanta Falcons win that game.
Woo! Woo!
no-
Check this out, man. Check this man out. You know
I'm
what?
just letting you know.
I'm not going to argue with this guy. All year he's been sending me on the camera going, I like this game. And I'm like, oh, boy, what's he talking about?
I'm just
man?
trying to
he's
make-
hitting them. He's hitting them. You can't take it away from you, brother. You got this.
I'm just trying to make you money, and I don't understand why you make it so hard. I'm making it easy
Why?
for
Yes,
you.
again, back to that old school thinking. I got to change my evil ways.
There you go.
And I'm doing it. And like I said, I got a pretty good record this year so far. But we're, I'm going to look at this game by the end of the week. I'll have to do a little more research on it. Well, so why do you like Atlanta in this game? So give me why you like this game.
In my Washington, they've been doing better.
Yes.
They're not a good team, though.
No, they're not.
I'm just letting you know right now, Washington, not a great team, and so it's time for them to let up. That's just how it happens.
Okay. Well, remember when Atlanta came to Seattle?
Yeah,
I took Atlanta in that game.
and Atlanta won.
Yes, they did. There's a surprising team.
I like, who's that? Cordero Patterson. Who's that guy? He was in the NFL for a ton of years, did nothing, and then all of a sudden, just boom, he's good. How does that happen?
I have no clue. That's the same thing with Geno Smith, and same thing with the Atlanta quarterback. What's his name? Morodo. I can't pronounce his name.
Marcus Mariota.
Yes, and this guy, they got second chance at playing football, and they are damn well going to take. This is it. We are starters. We've been sitting on the sidelines holding a board. Someone said it on the computer. I don't know where I read it, and he was right. A rookie quarterback coming in, you got 3 years to make it.
Yeah,
If you're not, you're going to be a backup quarterback to somebody for the next 5 years.
sure.
And that's what happened to him, and that's what happened to Geno Smith. So, and now look at him now. We got second life.
All right.
So,
All right, well, we're running a little long here, so I think
great.
we should wrap it up. Thanks for letting me sit in for a week.
thank
It was
you.
fun.
I have to do. You know what? I didn't get Mike's Dakota Dogs of the Week. Maybe we'll get one from you. Let's do a Dakota dog. What that is, we parlay 2 money line dogs. Teams that. So okay, an example is Chicago Bears is +194.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you guys say Chicago Bears got to beat them outright without the line. Okay, and if you parlay those two, it usually pays pretty good money. And we hit 3 of those in a row. We lost it last week, but our teaser came in last week. I think we had Cleveland and who did we have last week? We had Cleveland on the teaser bet. I know we hit it, and we had. I gotta find it right here. I don't even know where I put it, but we had. We hit our teaser bet, but Dakota of the week, dog of the week lost. But again, I know we hit it 3 weeks before that. So find a dog. On a money line.
I'm going to hear yours. You're not going to hear mine. I don't do that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. This is
It's a long shot.
You're betting games, right?
Right.
And you're having a good time.
And
this
that's
is
what we're
fun.
doing.
You
That's
win
what
some,
these are.
you lose some. No, these are Vegas's way to make sure, or the sports book, that you don't walk away with too much of their money.
Well, that's true too.
So
but,
they get you hardcore
you're a
gamblers
coward
are
on
like,
this.
oh yeah, I'm gonna parlay this and then add this one and wrap it in. And
But when you hit a couple of those a year, you're making whatever you bet all year, you hit 2 or 3 of those.
hey, good for you. Usually what I hear from you when you come in before we record is, oh, I hit 2 of this and not this last one, but if I had, it would have.
If I would, I could. I hate
would've
that
had
saying.
a
I almost
date
wrote
with-
a book named that, except somebody came out and wrote a book before I can do it.
All right, let's hear your Dakota.
My dog of the week. If I definitely would be taking the Steelers against the Colts.
There you go.
I think that's Monday night. I'm trying to find it here.
Yep, Monday.
Okay. Where are you? Plus 122. It doesn't really pay that much. So, and then if we're going to throw another dog in the week. Ooh, can the Saints beat the 49ers? Look at that line, 9.5. No.
My heart says yes. My head says no.
Are you a Saints man?
No, I'm a Seahawk fan. The
Okay.
49ers are breathing down our necks for the division. They're likely going to win the division. And so if New Orleans did us a solid there, I would not be disappointed. But San Francisco's looking like one of the teams
Best.
to beat.
Yes,
you got
they
San
could be.
Francisco, Philadelphia, and Dallas are kind of a class above everybody in the,
Very true. Very
in the
true.
NFC right now.
I would take Tennessee plus 110 and plus 122.
There you go.
So you got there's your
Taking a big
Dakota
swing
dog
there.
of the week. There you go.
All right.
All right, we're gonna end this.
Wrap it up. What does Mike say? Let's cash some tickets.
Exactly.
Cash some tickets.
Let's
All right.
cash some tickets. Thanks, John, for stepping in for us. I really appreciate
my
that.
pleasure.